This is a story about this little guy Marley. He wandered along a road, whistling a tune and contemplating what he might do with this fine day. As he wandered along, he drew closer to an object. Monty realised what the object was, a pair of binoculars. Excitedly, he whipped them up off the ground and swivelled around on his feet. He pressed the binoculars to his face and drew his head towards the sky, when something in particular caught his eye. He saw a lonely planet close to his own, only it was buzzing and vibrating with all kinds of energy. Static and electricity seemed to be coming from the whole thing. Michael instantaneously jumped aboard his jet plane and proclaimed, "I must discover this place and find out why it seems to buzz." Miles swooped and soared through space, losing control as gravity drew him towards the new planet. Marshall had had a rough landing. He rose stiffly, looking with one good eye around at the damage. His jet seemed to be in pieces. After dusting himself off, Martin went to explore, but was quickly distracted by a ringing sound. When Marcus had walked along some more, he realised the source of the ringing sound, a strange device. It was vibrating. He picked up the device and it stopped, and within the same instant a giant boom burst from the sky. It began pouring and Max started running, for he hated the rain. In the distance, Melvin spotted some shelter. He sat beneath this shelter, thinking what a dreadful place he had come to, whilst listening to the nearing rumble of thunder. The world around him became darker and wetter. In desperation, Miguel started pressing the buttons on this little device when all of a sudden, Matthew was struck by lightning. Once the rain had stopped, Morgan immediately got to work fixing his jet so he could just get home. Once Mika had got to the very last part, the propeller, he realised it was irreparable, but then he had an idea. Due to his resourcefulness, Miles's jet was working once more. Matthias was able to begin his journey back home and leave this terrible place. As he neared his home planet, the jet began to give out from its makeshift repair. First the back and then the body. Malcolm was once again in trouble, but just in the nick of time had managed to save himself from another crash landing. Thank goodness, Milo had made it back mostly in one piece. So once again Marlin strolled along, happy to be home. When all of a sudden he jumped, as there was a buzzing sound in his pocket. Marcel took the device out from his pocket and puzzled over it. What could it possibly be? Meat Crow shrugged his shoulders and looked to the sky. Who knew what it all meant? That's all for now, folks. I hope you enjoyed this short story and pictures. I made this book in its entirety and took some obvious inspirational liberties to demonstrate the return of classic cartoons into the mainstream and fashion at the time. Hence you'll see the changing names of a certain mouse. Alongside the book, I also displayed a collection of t-shirts and a collection of ceramics and sculpture. My main interest at the time was communication through mainstream and universally known symbols, whilst mixing these ideas with technological advancement and evolving languages created through technology. I thought a bookshop was quite a fitting place to display this work. At this stage in my art, I like to use sculpture and image to demonstrate and better communicate the thoughts I was having at the time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different to some of my other stuff, but please do let me know in the comments what you thought of it, or if you have any questions about the work or any thoughts that I might have brought up in this particular video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, folks. Thanks, bye.